A&O. We're so glad that you guys are here. Just a reminder for all of you guys on Instagram Live, if you have any prayer requests, go ahead and type those in down at the bottom and we will pray at the very end for all of you guys. Couple of announcements before we get started. As you guys know, we in Amarillo are now on a level red. So I want you guys to know, even though we can't meet all together, we're going to be meeting on Wednesday nights at 7:30 every single night. Not every single night, every single Wednesday night here. And if you don't get us live on Instagram, we will also be on our YouTube page, which you can find at firstpres.com. And we'll post the link on the GroupMe tomorrow morning. So if you miss it, there's other ways to see us. Also on Sunday morning, First Pres is having our 11:05 service, but it's going to be streaming at 8:30 in the morning. If you don't get up at 8:30, that's fine. You can get it as well later on the YouTube. So if you wake up at 11, you go to firstpres.com, you click it, you can watch it. And then there's also going to be just a small Devo. Each one of us are going to take a different week and do a small Devo on Sunday mornings. Last week Blake did it. This week I'm going to do it. So yeah, we're glad that you guys are here. We know this is weird times that we're living in. Us here at the house, we're trying to stay 6 feet apart, but we're having a lot of fun doing that. But we just can't wait until we can all be together again. We miss you guys a lot. It's been fun just getting to talk to you guys on FaceTime, text, things like that. Before we go any further, we have a birthday party. Happy birthday, Nick and Kim! Yesterday was Nick's birthday. Nick, how old did you turn?
38.
38. All right.
We're 6 feet. We have a birthday present for you, Nick. We know that you love Whataburger so much. This is a $50 card for Whataburger. You can't use it on anybody else. Of course, the mandatory toilet paper, and I don't know why we're giving away Tigers. I have no idea what's going on with that. Happy birthday, buddy. Here, don't touch me.
And then Kim, we have a present for you that we wrapped in the most precious fabric we could find these days. It is wrapped in toilet paper, so it says, "We love you, Kim."
Hey, thank you, and thanks for all the sweet messages today. Lisa's going to want us to keep this toilet paper, so I'm going to not tear that.
Yeah.
Thanks for all the sweet messages and FaceTime and all those things. It was great. I'm going to have to tear it. I appreciate it. Love you guys. This means a lot to me. Our family means a lot to me. That's fantastic. I love Winston Churchill and I love history. Thank you.
History books.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
No more cat shows.
And now it's time for the thing you've all been waiting for. It's called So You Think You Know Your A&O. Say that with me.
So you think you know your A&O.
We're going to have trivia for every level. We're going to have trivia for middle school and then high school and then alums. Each time we come to your group, we'll ask you a question. You have 20 seconds to answer that. You get 1 point for correct answer. I'm speaking Spanish. Por favor. Get 1 point for a correct answer. We will ask the question, and then you do to go online, put that answer in there, and the time. It'll be 1 point per question. We'll go through each category. At the end of, we'll do middle school, high school, alum, and then we'll have a bonus question for everybody. It'll be extra. So let's play. So you think you know your A&O. All right. Woo. Anna's going to start us off with a middle school question. Middle school only. Take it away.
Middle school question. All right. So you just type in your answer. First one, if you get an answer, middle school gets a point. If you take too long, no points. All right. So who stopped a middle school? Nope, that's a high school question. Sorry. All right. Middle school retreat this year. Who accidentally dropped their phone down the elevator shaft on the middle school retreat?
Jesus.
No, Nick, no, the answer is not Jesus. Jesus is the answer, but not to this question. Nick, thanks for saying that.
Jesus.
Dun, 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 dun.
Grady Cox
Dun,
got
dun.
it.
Brady Cox?
Brady Cox, 1 point for
All
middle
right,
school.
Grady Cox got the answer.
Noah.
And the answer is Noah. Noah dropped his phone. All right, high
Noah
school
dropped it
question.
all the way down. By the way, the winner at the end of all this gets this pile of wonderful treasures. I don't know why there's tigers everywhere. I don't get that. All right, high school, you ready to go? Number one, high school answer. What current sophomore boy ate so much Mexican food on a middle school retreat several years ago, he threw up in the parking lot while laughing the whole time? Who threw up on the middle school retreat and he laughed during the whole time? Go. Dun, dun,
The
dun,
Bible.
dun, dun. Bible is a good answer,
Good
Nick.
answer, but
Not
not
the
the right
answer to this. Dun, 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 dun.
Dalton said Ben. Bryn said Ryan.
Ryan!
Bryn is right.
Who got
Okay.
it?
Bryn.
Brent and Gabby, she said.
Bryn and Gabby. Ryan,
All
that's right.
right,
Ryan
Ryan Goodrich.
threw up in the parking lot. All right, Hannah.
All right, this is an alumni question. This happened last year. Who stopped a middle school kid from falling out of a third-story window during small groups?
Parents are not watching, I hope.
Prayer.
Prayer's a good answer.
Prayer.
That's
It
not,
worked.
That's not, yeah, prayer did work. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun,
Jake
dun.
says Jake Lester.
No!
Wrong.
Claire says Trey.
Yes.
Yeah, Trey McCampbell. We have
Trey
winner.
McCampbell. All right, 1 point for everyone
All tied
so
up.
far.
It's all tied up. So what are we on? Bonus question.
Bonus question.
I like this. This is for anyone to answer, and you get 2 points for this, right?
Yes.
Here we go. It's my birthday. It was Nick's birthday yesterday. What is the age difference between Nick Weddington and myself? What is the age difference between Nick and myself? Be kind.
Predestination.
Predestination is not the answer, Nick. Dun 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 dun. Age difference. Dun 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 dun. Anybody? Age difference.
Dalton said 45.
High school gets 2 points. Dalton, my
Nice.
man.
High school got
Yes.
points. all
Colton
right.
said 0.
Who said 0?
Colton.
Give Colton half a point for saying 0.
Deduction from alumni. They're at a half a point.
Try Nick. And Nick was only 10 years younger.
All right, so another middle school question. We're going to do one more round. Middle school question. Who tossed a pumpkin from the fire escape last year at the Halloween party and broke part of the deck?
Middle school person.
Who tossed a pumpkin from the fire escape last Halloween and broke part of the deck?
Dun 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 dun. Ba-da-da-da-da-dum. Bum 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 bum.
Marcus Glass says Carter Bunn.
Yes! A parent. I don't know. A parent. Judge's parent.
He's probably on there for Camden.
Oh, he's on there for his. He's
Yes,
on
middle
for
school
it.
gets-
For middle school.
middle school
Yes,
gets
middle
one
school.
point.
Camden.
Works.
All right, Blake. What's the score?
High school's in the lead with 3.
High
And then
school has
middle school. And then alumni.
Middle school 1, alumni 1, right?
Middle school 2.
2,
alumni.
alumni 1.
Alumni, what's the deal? All right, who's up? High school?
They're answering.
All right, high school question. What was the name of the bus driver on the ski trip that Nick talked to the entire trip? What was the name of the bus driver? Dun, dun, dun. On the
Jerusalem.
ski trip.
Bethlehem.
Anybody?
The name of the bus driver on the ski trip.
5,
4,
Four.
Answer.
3,
Do I get points?
2.
Pete said Jordan, but that's
One.
not right.
Nick?
Oh,
Claire
Claire said it.
says Ginger.
Wait, Claire,
Claire
alumni.
said it.
Yeah,
So
she did.
That's another high schooler.
No credit.
No credit.
But she got it.
She's an alumni.
She alumni. Good job, Claire.
Oh.
Alumni gets the point.
She stole the point.
She stole the
And
point.
she and Nick,
Oh.
She can have
Ginger
more
and Nick are
toilet
still
paper than
talking
anyone.
today.
Yeah, she has pictures of the house and stuff.
Okay, alumni.
All right. Who stayed up and sang all night at the last A&O all-nighter, causing us to cancel them for eternity? Who
Lily.
stayed up and sang all night at the last A&O all-nighter, causing us to cancel
Kennedy
them for...
said Amber.
We have an
Boom!
answer. We have an
Good
answer.
job, Kennedy. We get another point for alumni.
Okay, Blake.
Wait, what did she say? Amber.
Amber Gabalina. She literally sang until the sun came up. That's why we no longer have any all-nighters. Blake, what's the score?
Middle school's 2, high school and alumni are tied in for 3 points.
Middle school is 2, high school and alumni are tied with 3.
Bonus question. This could be the win in all be all.
Okay, this is for 3 points. What? You okay, Hannah?
Doing fine.
Here we go for 3 points. What is the mascot of the college that Anna went to? What is the mascot of the college that Anna attended? This is going to be a tough one.
The Bible.
The Bible's always a good answer, Nick. Thank you
We
very
did.
much. but
We did
not-
do the Bible.
They were Baptist.
Yes, we were Baptist.
He was a Baptist?
Jake says a B.
Yeah, close.
That's
Kennedy.
actually offensive.
Oh my
Kennedy said
gosh.
Yellow Jackets.
Yellow Jack. Who said it?
Kennedy.
Kennedy's like right. Alumni.
How many points is that?
Danny says Stingers.
Oh,
Just
get your
one?
fingers up.
It was the Yellow Jackets. Alumni gets it. They were the only ones even trying.
Okay, that was a little bit fixed for the alumni. So I'm going to give one more
That's
question.
true. That's true.
Worth 2 for everybody. Are you ready? What is the nickname of the police officer that watches A&O every Wednesday night? What is his nickname? Go.
Roger.
Nick. It's not Jesus. Sorry.
Dang.
Well, he does watch over us, though. He does watch over us.
Paul.
The nickname of the police officer that watches over us. Anybody? Anybody?
Peyton said Smoke.
Peyton Brennan said it's Smotherland, all right? So, what we're going to give you the score, and here's the deal. If you like the trivia game, we will keep playing. If you're done, we're done. So tell us after this if you want to keep doing this. But right now, the standing is, who's in 3rd place?
Middle school.
Middle school. High school, how many? 3?
And alumni has 5.
Alumni 5. Come on. All right, alumni cheaters. No, really.
They've just been around longer.
Thank you for playing. So, you think you know your A&O. Anna.
All right. It is testimony time. So I'm going to invite my good friend Brinkley to the stage.
Crowd noise, crowd noise. Yeah, Brinkley. Go Hogs. Go Hogs.
Blue pig.
Yes, we are 6 feet apart. Just so you guys know. Yeah, so we just wanted to, for A&O Live, we wanted to just keep the tradition of having somebody share their testimony. A lot of times we get confused about what is a testimony, why do we do this? Sorry, there's a hair in my mouth. Okay. And basically a testimony is your story and how Jesus has come into your story and revealed himself to you. And so a lot of times people think you got to have like a crazy past, and sometimes that is people's stories, but sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's just explaining who Jesus is to you and what that means for your life from here on out. And so we wanted to invite one of our alumni, Brinkley, and so I'm going to let her introduce herself, and then I'm going to ask her some questions.
Hi, my name is Brinkley Chanel. I'm currently a freshman. I go to the University of Arkansas. I've moved back home, obviously. I have been going to A&O since I was in 6th grade. I graduated from Amarillo High last year, and I have a little sister named Bryn. She's a sophomore in high school. So, yeah, that's kind of some info on me.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about when Jesus became real to you.
Yeah. So I feel like I've had my moments where I've known that he's real, and like I've grown up going to Kanakuk, and for sure like I've felt him. But I think the biggest time that I felt that he's real was this past year transitioning from high school to college, because you just like leave everything you know behind, and then you're just like starting something brand new, and the only thing I had transitioning from high school to college was Jesus, and I knew that he got my back no matter what was happening, even though everything was new, everything was different. Like I had the comfort inside of me knowing that Jesus was with me every step of the way, and that was so assuring. And I feel like if I didn't make that transition, then I wouldn't be in the place that I am today.
Yeah. So that kind of went into my next question. Basically, how has the transition from high school to college kind of affected your faith? But I'll mix the question up a little bit. But basically, if you were to talk to a lot of our seniors are kind of in a weird period right now where they're not knowing if they're going to get to finish school or graduate and that kind of stuff. What kind of advice would you give them going into college? Maybe something you wish you would have known, maybe the summer before you went. things like that. What kind of advice would you give somebody that's just finishing up their first year of college?
Yeah. Well, if I were a senior at this stage right now, I would honestly be so frustrated because I loved every minute of high school. I had the best friend group in high school, and so this transition, I feel like this is a time to like realize what you're gonna miss most. Like hanging out, I've totally forgotten like every night I've gotten to have dinner with my family, which I don't get to do in college. I've enjoyed my mom's home cooked meals. I've gotten to I've shared a bathroom with my sister again. And in this time, last year, I just remember I was ready for the transition, but also I was like never ready actually. So I feel like this is the time to like, it's such a calming stage right now. So I just think kind of absorb everything that you've been grateful for and like what God has given you the past 3.5 years in high school. And like now you can like mentally prepare yourself of what college is going to be like to you. And one thing that I wish I knew, which I have heard, but like I like truly mean it. Whenever you're going into college, you just truly need to be yourself. Like that's the only way, because you're trying to fit in and you're trying to do this and trying to do that just to like go with the flow and go with the crowd. But honestly, like the best thing to do is just be yourself. And also like I'm a kind of a shy person, so for me it's been difficult to like kind of find my people. But when you open up and like invite people to what you're doing and people invite you to what they're doing, it's so much better and it's a better experience. And for me, like what I struggled most with at the beginning of college is how I had to leave behind my friend group, and because they were so encouraging and they pushed me to be the best person I could be, and they helped me follow Jesus and follow the right path. So I just had such high expectations, but you can't have that high expectations of friendships as soon as you go into college, especially if you're going to a place that you don't know anyone else there. So I just think that's something.
Yeah.
And also I think it's the best thing to do is get involved in a church right once you get there.
Yeah.
Just kind of test the waters and see what you like best.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you personally have had some change and some transition, having to move home and having to cut your freshman year short by moving home and having to do online classes, which is not what you signed up to do. So how have you been coping with that change personally?
Yeah, so I got the email on a Thursday afternoon, and immediately like it wasn't we'll come back in 2 weeks. It wasn't that. It was we're done, all online the rest of the semester. And I was devastated. I was sad. I cried and cried. But that night my mom came in on Friday morning the next day, packed up, left Saturday. So it was also like so fast I didn't even get to process what happened. Mm-hmm. So now like coming home, I've realized how grateful I am to have such a great freshman year, and like it's like a blessing that I was sad about leaving. Yeah. Because I just met so many great people. And so now I've like started to realize like to enjoy the little moments, like when my family and I go play basketball out in the backyard, or when we all just sit down and enjoy dinner as a family, or if my friends and I from home are all getting to hang out. Like, and I've also made the realization that this will probably be the longest time I'll be home, like in a time span. So I'm just like soaking up every minute that I get and like just taking it day by day pretty much.
Yeah. So this is a bonus question. What's been the most like fun random thing that's happened since you've been home? Like most creative thing maybe that you and Bryn have done, or
Okay, that's a good question.
I threw you a curveball there.
Well, today Bryn and I actually we decided to do a Zumba class on the computer.
Yes.
And so like we couldn't even finish it because we were yeah.
What did you learn? You got any moves?
Oh, I can't. But anyways, it was just so fun because I mean we were bored, so we had nothing to do. So
That's
we were
awesome.
dancing to Zumba, and like we like couldn't finish it because we were laughing so hard
I
at
love
each
that.
other. So
That's awesome.
been something that I've
Well,
enjoyed.
good. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think the most important thing is just remembering the small things, being grateful for those things. Thank you so much, Brinkley.
Yeah, of course.
This t-shirt's for you.
Yay.
You can get whatever size you want in a minute.
Thank you.
But I'm just going to pray for you. And so thank you for coming on A&O Live. God, we love you so much, and we just thank you for the opportunity that we've had just to hang out with Brinkley tonight and have her just share her story. God, we thank you for the ways that you have continued to bless her just through her family and through her friends. And God, we thank you that you have just become so real to her in the transition from high school to college, having those moments where she had to rely on you and to trust in you. And God, I just pray that you continue to bless her and you just continue just to reveal who you are, even in moments of confusion and chaos. And I thank you for her just attitude to be grateful. We love you, and we just pray for just Blake as well, as he's going to share a few encouraging just bits for us in a minute. God, we love you so much just for who you are. Amen. Awesome.
Thank you.
And now Blake is going to come up and just encourage us a little bit.
All right, Blake.
Alrighty, guys. Well, if you were here from the very beginning, you will probably have seen my goofy eyebrows and this piece of work going on my face, and all the allusion to the next viral thing that's going on across social media. And if you don't know, don't worry about it. It is not important. It's just another trend that's going on. And I have noticed over the years that trends, in a way, is how we kind of create a community, especially with people that we can't physically, like touch. They're not within our physical presence. And that's kind of how I've noticed in social media how we've been connecting as just human beings, being in quarantine, just having to connect online. I saw earlier today on Facebook that not only all these memes of what's popular, but also just kind of ways to interact with people. Someone had posted a type of game of like I Spy, and it was called I Spy in your camera roll, and it was to call out like a color or anything and to post a picture of what's on it. And so we are very community-based creatures. We long and crave and need community, and being in isolation and quarantine is kind of hard on us. And ultimately, with kind of how we brought in A&O today, we kind of wanted to create a atmosphere of community for you guys, to make you feel like you're here with us. And that brings us to the name of God tonight, which is Emmanuel, who is God with us. And there's 3 passages in the Bible. I'm going to give 2 on where that's found. The first one is in Matthew chapter 1. Let me turn there real quick. And this is when Mary has been conceived. The Holy Spirit conceived Mary, and she became pregnant. And an angel appears to her and tells her to name him Emmanuel. And that was to fulfill a prophecy from Isaiah, which is in Isaiah chapter 7, if you want to flip over to that. I'll give you just a second. It is Isaiah 13 through 14. And Isaiah says, "Listen, house of David, is it not enough for you to try patience of men? Will you also try the patience of my God? Therefore the Lord himself will give you a sign. See, the virgin will conceive and have a son and name him Emmanuel." And so that's what we're going to be talking about, God with us tonight. And I know personally there have been times in my life growing up, and I'm not afraid to tell it. I don't just want to repeat myself too many times. But I grew up in kind of a situation that I put myself in, of isolation and loneliness, which led to depression, which led to more isolation and more loneliness and more depression, just spirals. But that's kind of how, in a way, I grew up, especially through high school. I was just kind of in my room all the time. Had friends when I hung out a little bit, but I was mainly just in my room. And throughout that time, the Lord kind of, I was kind of questioning, like, I believed that, but it was hard for me to really see and understand that the Lord was with me. And He used, throughout my life, just over time, He stripped away things in my life to get me to a point where it really is just Him, which I ultimately believe is Him to revealing Himself to me, and that He's all I need, and that He is always with me. And one of the big things that I've noticed, that I've told you guys before, is when I moved to Nashville, I was in a very low, depressed state, and He called me to move to Nashville. And out of nervousness, but also out of just kind of a step of faith, like, okay, if you really want to move to Nashville, then you're going to make it happen. And the whole step of the way, it was constantly, He was just revealing Himself, that He's He's walking, he's planning it out, he's going before me, but he's also walking with me. And so by the time I was in Nashville, I had gotten a job that I didn't interview for, and I had lost an apartment that I had signed a contract for, and I was moving and I didn't know where to go. Had no place to like move into when I was in Nashville, but I knew the Lord he hadn't brought me to this point to just leave me. He had instilled enough faith in me, if that makes sense, to trust Him that He's going to provide for me. And you know, with today, with kind of the situation we're in, it's kind of one of the takeaways I want you guys to walk away with, is that if you might be feeling alone, lonely, depressed, kind of isolated, just due to the circumstances, that there is a blessing and provision now and on the other side, that this is going to be for good, and that He is always with us. So yeah, I wanted to keep it nice, short and sweet. That way, it's one thing listening in person, it's another thing listening to people for 40 minutes on a video, and I totally get that. So one takeaway for you guys tonight is to just trust and believe that He is always with us no matter what. And He will reveal that to you if you walk that out. So I'm going to go ahead and close this out in a short little prayer. All right. Father, thank You for just honestly the situation we're in. I see it as a blessing in disguise, and I have faith that You're going to work miracles and do wonders that will just bring people into the kingdom. And I pray that You give us comfort and peace through this time, through this trial, and just to build our faith in You for harder trials and harder times that may come along, that we may not be dismayed in what's happening and what is to come, that we can always continue to look to You, Father, in everything that we do in life. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Great job, Blake. Hey, thanks again, friends. Again, thanks for all the birthday wishes. It means a lot. You guys are family. Love you dearly. I want to remind you of a couple of things. If there's someone that didn't get to see this, it will be on GroupMe. It'll also be at our First Presbyterian website, firstpres.com. When you see live stream, you can go on there and watch this again. We'll also, on Sunday mornings, two things I want to remind you of. You need to keep worshiping, and we will be worshiping again. We're following all the rules for the level red that the mayor has asked for. There'll be a few of us. I'll be there hosting, but Howard will be preaching. It's going to be 8:30 on Sunday morning. You can go live stream, or you can go back on the website sometime on Sunday with your family, with friends, again, complying with the rules, and be a part of that worship service. Also, every Sunday, one of our staff will post a short Bible study based on the scripture, based on the sermon. So don't forget about your worshiping on Sunday. Very important. And if you're not worshiping online with your church, if you have a different church, we'd love to have you join us. FirstPres.com live stream worship. And don't forget to continue to pray. Let us know your prayer request. Page or just ask us if we could be praying for a friend that's trying to get home from Indonesia and is stuck there in Indonesia. So we'll pray for that. If you have other prayer requests, let us know. We're all available. Text, GroupMe to pray for you. If you want to do some one-on-one discipleship, I know Aaron Aaron Trevizio and I are doing a discipleship online. Colton Rodman and I are doing some discipleship. If you want to do some one-on-one, just FaceTime discipleship with any of us, let us know. We love you guys. We are just praying for you, and we can't wait to get back together. So thanks for being a part of this.